This video is for one of two people. First, you're either in the IB space with me or you're already in it yourself and you may be struggling to get that kind of trajectory to start making some online money. Or the second version of you might be someone who's in the online space. You might be in affiliate market, e-commerce, drop shipping, network market, whatever it is, and you've maybe not yet found the vehicle that can help you get to that next level. That is number two. This video in specific is going to be about becoming the best top performing affiliate and kind of a few traits that you're going to come across when you're looking at this as to how to actually get to that top income level. So one of the first things I want to touch on before we dive into this video is the kind of topic of timing. A lot of people, when they're looking at the IB space or they're looking into getting into affiliate, they see the income potential, they see the people around them on social media making this type of income, and they think, oh my God, I want that. But what they don't see is the time, the effort, the dedication, the discipline that it's taken. For me, I've become a 15-year overnight success. What they don't see is me networking, building relationships for years and years and years and years and years. And this is one of the topics that I really think is missing in today's society in general, like actually building meaningful relationships, meaningful friendships. People are sliding into people's DMs, requesting things, doing things, trying to extract all the time. Whereas for the last 10 to 12 to 13 years before my upward trajectory, I spent time building relationships, forming friendships. Now, the people that are around me, the ones that are making the fantastic income, these are people that we've networked with for years. So if you're watching this as an IB and you're new to the space, you might not get that 0 to 10, that 0 to 20, that 0 to 50K income that some other people are doing because you just haven't had your reps in yet. So what we're going to kind of cover on this is, first of all, the power of timing, the power of kind of like you getting involved in this space right now if it's something that you're interested in. Because for me, I saw this transition, this switch, probably 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I started to see the power of making money without subscriptions, without clients having to pay month by month. And that is the thing that I focused on, is the relationships, because prior to this, I've been involved in the network marketing space since 2011. So building relationships comes second nature to me. So now it's very easy to bring people into this space who are wanting to learn how to make money, wanting to grow, wanting to get better. So the first topic of this is going to be purely around timing. And if you haven't been in this space for a while, you might be young, you might not have had your reps right now. To get to that next level of income is just going to take a little bit of time. So the second point I want to kind of touch on is going all in early doors. A lot of people that I spoke to at the weekend, they were stable and steady income for a while. Then something happened in their life. It might have been that they lost their job, they quit their job, they split up with their partner. Something happened that made them think, right, I've got to go all in and give this my all. They might have seen other people making money around them and thought, right, I've got to change. Then they go all in. Then all of a sudden, their income 3, 4, 5, 6x's. This isn't guaranteed, but again, this is something that we're seeing on a consistent basis, is when people decide to go all in, they decide to make that dedication, they decide to make that switch to really take things to the next level, they then start to see their income exponentially increase. So if you're sat watching this and you've been an IB for a week, for a month, for 6 months, for 12 months, and you're not getting the level of income right now that you truly desire, that you feel like you deserve, look, are you all in on this? Or are you like I was 3-4 years ago, spinning 20 different plates, trying to run 10 different businesses, trying to promote health and well-being, nutrition, this. And before you know it, you've not actually got any solid foundation of what it is you are, what you offer, you as a brand, as a person, as a business. When people look at me on social media, I would like to think that they think certain things, positive things, around making money, around entrepreneurships, that I can help them. So if you make that decision early doors to go all in, you're going to see results come a hell of a lot quicker. Rather than dilly-dallying, exposing your network to what it is that you do slowly, they'll eventually decide to, get involved, but it might be in 6 to 12 months down the line when 10 other people have already shown them this opportunity. So again, if you're kind of sat there on the fences, you're not making quick decisions, one thing that I really loved about kind of learning about the high-performing people, what they do is they make decisions fast and they seldomly change direction. So they'll be like, right, I'm doing this, I'm going all in, and they're not looking over here. They're going all in, they're focusing, and then all of a sudden they're just tapping themselves back on course to make sure that everything that they're doing is pushing them towards the right version of themselves. The next point I'm going to touch on is the high earners that you see on social media, that you see around. They take full advantage of every single thing that we have to offer. So you will regularly see a lot of my top performing IBs out here in Marbella, utilizing the podcast studio, utilizing the content team, utilizing the system that we've put in place to allow them to exponentially grow, because you can sit there at home on ChatGPT all day, writing out the same shit all day, every day, but it's not narrated or kind of specific to the niche that you want to build in. So if you can come into this and you can plug yourself into a system that already has everything there, you only have to look around on my socials at some of the IBs that are already getting the results that you guys desire right now. What is it that they're doing that you're not? Are they, reinvesting some of their income? Are they reinvesting some of their money back into content, back into reels, back into travel, back into trips, back into this, back into that, to get that kind of brand differentiation? So if I look at you right now and I look at your social media, who would you join? Would you join you, or would you join me? Yes, I know I have a supercar. I know that I've got the lifestyle that people might necessarily want, but from a branding perspective, you could come here for 3, 4, 5 days. You could take advantage of the podcast studio, the terrace, La Concha in the background, the car, the this, the that. You could plug into all of that, and there's so much more stuff coming that you definitely want to take advantage of. And then what's going to happen is your brand is going to put you on a pedestal compared to the competition. And this is one thing that you will see the top performing affiliates do over and over and over again. You will now start to see a huge amount of people moving out here, making the shift, come to live in Marbella, living in Spain, moving out to Dubai. Why? Because they're around the action, they're around the good vibes, they're around the people making money day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, and the growth is like this. So if you're not around that, you're not experiencing it, look at who you're speaking to, who you acting with, who are you networking with on a day-to-day basis, what results do they have? Is that something that you want? If the answer's no, change it. What's she doing, digging? Hey! Who done this? Who done this? I thought it was a fucking fox that did it. It's you. Right, let's put you inside. Perdona. Es posible agua para el perros y un treat. Luna is digging. Oh. She did that in back garden. It's like when she's trying to hide shit. Right, next. The next topic I really want to touch on is the skill development that you have to go through. So as an entrepreneur who's been doing this for 15 years, making a great income online, I didn't start off like this. I had to go through and go to do the courses, go learn about my mindset, psychology, around about money, how to act, looking at what the top performers did. And we live in such a world right now where people think that they can just post on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok and build a business. Yes, that will get you to a good level where you could maybe get to 10, 15, 20K a month. But for me personally, to truly get to that like eye-watering fuck you money, you have to become developed all around, in all areas. And even though right now for myself personally, yes, I love the income that I'm making, I'm very grateful for it, I'm still looking to better myself. I'm still looking to consistently grow. So I would class myself as an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who makes executive decisions, makes fast action stuff. I'm not a reactive person. I'm very proactive. So I'm looking now how the space is going, the type of people coming into the industry. Do I want to be, as Bradley Marchant, associated with them, affiliated with them? Absolutely not. So what am I doing? I'm making decisions to pull me away from that, that'll build the brand and the business around me and also help all of my IBs who lock in. So a lot of people in this space, what they're actually doing is they're just signing the agreement to become an IB, posting a few stories. They're not actually entrepreneurs. They're not actually business owners. They're not actually, in a position to kind of lead. All they're doing is they're posting a few stories out there. And then when it comes to objection handling and kind of, going around the houses to actually get someone to stick with them, they actually struggle with that. And that then leads me on to like the next point. In this game, you will find that the loyalty levels are quite low if they're motivated by one thing: money. I cannot be bought. I've been offered deals by brokers that I would have once toe curled at. I'd been like, oh my God, I can buy this. But that doesn't excite me anymore. What excites me is my character and how I build and how I lead. So if you're moving around for money, I'm not saying that money's bad, but for me, I will never ever break a relationship for money. And what you will find a lot in the IB space is people's loyalty levels go through the floor because they chase this level of income. But I'm telling you, if you get to that type of income where you're earning the type of money that can be earned in this space, you'll be incredibly lonely. You'll be depressed, you'll be miserable because you fighted and kind of battled all this time to get that level of income that when you get there, you've no one to celebrate it with. This weekend was a really, really kind of proud moment for me because all the shit that I've been through, people trying to target my business, people trying to kind of shake the apple tree, if you will. I'm stood there with 50 odd IBs, millions and millions and millions of dollars being generated throughout that room. And I'm like, fucking hell, I could have took a deal and I wouldn't have had this infrastructure. So some of you watching this, you need to be very, very mindful on who you're listening to, who you're letting sway your decisions, who you're letting guide you. And I'm not saying by any means that I'm the almighty Messiah and that you should listen to me, because you might think I talk a load of shit. But I'm sat here with the results after 2.5 years that back up every single thing that I'm saying, that allow me to really go out there and lead from the front and help people get the results that they want. For me, I will work with anyone at any time who wants to run, who wants to grind. My door is open in Marbella for every single one of you to come out here, to link up. Yesterday on the terrace, I had 6 of my IBs sat there, one doing TikTok live, a couple smoking cigars, others networking. Fucking sick. So you imagine this is like ground zero, if you will. I've not really put proper infrastructure in place yet in regards to the future stuff that we're doing. Just signed a couple of agreements. I've just put a big setup in place for May. And now I'm really starting to look at this from like the next level business version of Bradley. How can I help every single one of you that's watching this, that's an IB, that's wanting to grow your online income in the affiliate space? How can I help you go from A to Z as quickly as possible with the least skills necessary? But I can teach you around the mindset, the money, the tax, the this, the that, along the way, so that you get to a point where you're comfortable in 6 to 12 to 18 months' time making eye-watering money, and you're like, wow, that was well worth the journey. So just to finish on, if you've not been to any of the events yet and you're thinking about coming to the next one, first of all, there's a link below here that's going to kind of allow a wait list, if you will, to kind of have the next events in place. Second of all, if you're thinking about becoming an IB, you've maybe not got set up yet, you don't really know what to do, what the process is, there'll also be another form in here somewhere. Make sure that you put the name of the person who referred you onto this so that we can make sure that you get locked in with them and we'll help you get set up. One of the team will reach out to you and kind of onboard you onto the next process.